This ain't your normal podcast, you know, ones you like.
Do it through a hole in the sheet. Gays are gross, and I'm right.
Cut the foreskin off, and then they eat the foreskin or something.
Male rabbis have oral herpes.
Thanks, Obama.
Maybe it's just you're supposed to eat their ass.
Thanks, Obama.
Butts and boobs and whatever.
It's a rubber dick. Thanks, Obama.
Two straight married guys, and you're out having some beers, and the next thing you know, you just start making out.
Thanks, Obama.
Do it through a hole in the sheet. Gays are gross, and I'm right.
You're now listening to the Turnbridge Files Podcast.
I love the original name, which was the Turnbridge Diaries. Oh God,
They didn't like it though. Wasn't it?
Turnbridge Files
sounds like a show on the CW22.
That's what I thought too. That's what I was going for.
I have mixed feelings about Turnbridge Files only because it's so weird. It's like,
why?
When I tell people about, like, yeah, I'm doing a podcast. Well, what's the name of it? Turnbridge Files?
So what?
I never use the term files.
It's a conversation starter.
Yeah, I mean, I like how
I'd be like, why?
It's organic how we named it and everything.
Yeah, it's artisanal.
I do have some news for the Turnbridge File podcast listeners. We have a YouTube channel, and it is. Woo! Let me just check it real quick just to make sure I'm giving
getting
you
that internet money.
The right info. What is this bullshit? I believe it's just Turnbridge Files Podcast. If you search Turnbridge Files Podcast on YouTube, you will find us. Pretty simple. But
So just go to YouTube, www.youtube.com.
www.
It's not 4 W's. Dude.
Oh, hold on. www.
Yeah.
Don't you, when you talk to like older people, and they tell you a website, they're always like www./http. But yeah, so all of our stuff is streaming on YouTube as well as, iTunes, depending on what you guys use to listen to podcasts. It'll be, some people like YouTube, other people do it on their phones. Other people do it through a hole in the sheet. So
that's how some people do it.
We don't discriminate.
Keeps it kosher.
I heard that's how they do it.
I heard. So how was everybody's week?
Let's see. So I got heckled at Bob Saget. We went there for Eric's birthday.
Where?
So it was at the Performing Arts Center. We went out there, and actually Rick came out there. He had a couple friends, and he does some spiel about how like he dated 6 girls over the last 20 years, and like you go for breaks sometimes for years in between girlfriends. Anyone else like that? And I make the mistake of cheersing my drink to him on that. And so he just sights in and just starts going off. He's like, yeah, you'll go years. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, yeah, so you watch a lot of porn. It's like, yeah. And then from there it launched, and he's like, yeah, you watch so much porn, your internet bill gets bigger. Because that happens when you watch a lot of porn. And then
just became the setup to his joke.
From there he launches like, and you find yourself in the dark in the corner of a house looking at barnyard porn. I want to run my mouth, but I know better. I know that if
you watch barnyard
porn.
porn.
And if I say anything like negative to him, he's gonna tear me apart. And so luckily at that point, as I'm just sitting there, it's like, all right, just drink your drink and smile. Rick's friend stands up in the crowd and tells a story about her bobgasm. Stops the show.
What is this?
So a bobgasm apparently as a
wait a minute.
thing.
She just took over the show and started talking.
Not as drastic as you would think. Like, she found a way to make him engage with her so that it wasn't like it didn't stop the show.
Okay.
So she stays. He's doing crowd work, and like she stands up and tells him how when she was pregnant, she woke up mid-sleep having an orgasm, dreaming about him. And then tells him that she named her kid after him, Bobby. And
this was your
that was
friend?
the joke.
Bob
she didn't
Saget.
name her kid
okay.
But Bob Saget goes like silent.
Yeah, she is
like,
my friend. She's wild as hell.
The record
good.
skips, just like,
Not my
and
kid.
all of a sudden, like dead silence in the room. But thankfully, it took the attention off of me.
How was Bob Saget's stand-up?
Oh, it was good. No, he's hilarious. I mean, he just sits there and hangs out and talks shit. He's funny.
I'm surprised Bob Saget isn't with all this like sexual shit that people are coming out.
Yeah, but I don't think it would be a big scandal if everyone's like, "Oh my, did you hear that Bob Saget
I'm
sexually
talking about
molested some people?" You'd be like, "Yeah."
Well, he made
I'm
fun
not surprised, but I already
well,
knew
no, I
that.
mean,
Yeah,
like-
he made fun of that. He said that like all the fucking cheating and fucked up shit I've done over the years.
sure
and
he
drugs,
led with
like,
that.
I've made fun
Yeah.
of that, so no one can get me.
No, but what I'm saying is some actual shit coming out about Full House with like the little kids.
I mean, he does talk about that a lot. You know,
because
him and
he's
Stamos,
like
He cleared the air on that one, I guess, for himself too.
He
Yeah.
I
kinda
don't know. I
looks
mean,
a
who
little
knows what that environment
creepy.
was like?
Well, he
I mean,
is
look at the
creepy.
Olsen twins. They're not.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
wouldn't consider them to
somebody
be normal.
He looks.
somebody was fucking with them.
is creepy. Yeah.
I
But
wouldn't
he's
be
pretty
surprised. That's all I could say.
It seems like Hollywood has become like this fucking like weird Sodom and Gomorrah world that
But we already
I
knew
think
it
it
was
already
like that,
was.
though.
Yeah.
It's just now they're open.
I don't know. I didn't know it was like that.
You're so innocent.
I never thought about it like that.
You never heard those like? I mean,
I
there's
heard
movies
little
about
things,
it.
but I didn't think it was like that. You know, I heard
Made
the
movies they try to tell us.
quid pro quo or whatever like that. But I
The
mean,
casting couch.
I would never have thought fucking Bill Cosby was drugging women and fucking them. That was like, whoa,
That
what
blew
the
my
fuck?
mind too. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that blew a lot of people's minds.
I,
think-
don't think Bob Saget's one of those guys, man. I mean, I get the feeling
No.
like he gave me the vibe that he's just a guy. He really wanted to.
He's a man.
He really enjoyed entertaining people. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck
And
Bob
like,
Saget.
His show wasn't more like his stand up was like, I got the feeling, Casey, you give me your opinion, but I got the feeling that he riffed like
Most of it.
60% of it.
Oh yeah, no, it was just him hanging out, just talking shit.
that's
Yeah.
good.
And he was pretty good at that.
Yeah,
I mean, he was
Yeah,
an
it's
interesting
all
guy.
crowd participation. Yeah, there was a bunch
And
of
he was
drums.
very
Like,
witty.
it was-
He was very
That's
quick.
awesome.
You know?
I'd never seen his stand up. We were actually watching Christina Pazzinski's stand up. You ever heard of her? Mm-mm. She's really funny. And then
on the show.
yeah, I had a good weekend with my wife.
Bed Bath Beyond Saturday.
Well, it was more like the in-laws watched the kid, so we got to kind of hang out and watch comedy and have a conversation with. When you have a kid, dude, it's few and far between where you sit down with your wife and like, you know, have a conversation.
Well,
other
yeah,
than
because your
like-
life's over. Yeah.
other than
Talk
like,
to your mistress though. You
did
guys
he
sit
poop
down
today or you know?
So you don't get to have that
How's his
real,
tummy?
like their real interaction.
Yeah, so it was good. We
Was
watched.
it yummy in his tummy?
Yeah, that's pretty much
What
the
kind of
conversation.
conversations goes that?
But we watched some George Carlin, you know, talk to her about how he was my favorite comedian. George Carlin was so fucking good.
Who's her favorite comedian?
I don't know. Usually the conversations are more just me.
Me imparting knowledge just in case there's a quiz later. And it's like, oh, you said some stuff. All right, well, more about myself.
I just take all my morals and values and just jam them down her throat.
Oh, God.
But
Relationships.
but I wouldn't give it up for the world, man. Like fucking when you have a kid, I think Joe Rogan had the perfect description of it, and it was just like once you have a kid, you start to look at other people differently. You start to be like,
With jealousy, yeah, because
No.
you've started dying. Like you reach like a flower, you reach a point, and once you
Damn,
pollinate, like every day after that, it's
Like
just
a-
downhill
like a
towards.
salmon.
But until then, otherwise, yeah, exactly. Like,
Salmonic
as long as you
season's
don't
over.
dump your eggs, then like you're gonna keep evolving and striving and.
You just gotta keep
yeah,
flapping
there's a bit of that for
Okay,
sure.
yeah,
and
that haunts your like every move, your every conversation, every thought, every waking moment.
No, well, where I was going with it is not as not as negative as that. It's more when you look at people now, and you know, with a kid, you just start looking at other people like, wow, you were somebody's kid at some point. You were a baby and you grew into this.
Yeah.
Like it gives you a real perspective of, you know, people and how just we're all just fucking people trying to do our best. You
Well,
know what
I think
mean?
it took me till I was 18 till I figured out that my parents were just two people that had sex and had me. And I, you know, growing up, you're like, oh, they know everything. They got it
Yeah.
all figured out.
When was it?
They don't know shit.
Do you remember the? That's a good topic here. We can go around the room. Here at the Turnbridge Files, we like to pick a topic and then we ask. No, what was the moment? Because I can think of one that you realize your parents are just people, or maybe it was a disappointing moment where it's like, damn. My dad looks at porn.
No,
Rick looks at porn?
Oh my
Get
god!
out of here. I know him.
Oh, look at these. They all
That's a
look
guy-
like a bunch of fish.
All right, Rick. Tell us about losing your virginity.
Yeah. So when was the moment that you realized your parents weren't like the heroes that you thought? You don't have a specific.
Oh, I got left at the airport. Ooh. Like, so when I was a kid, my
damn, that's real.
Like my pops lived out west, out in Seattle, and my mom, like when he got visitation, my mom moved all the way here because it's like.
So
it's
geographically you at the airport.
Like it's like as far as you can get from the two places, and there's a great college for psychology. But I flew from Seattle. So I'd fly like 4 times every break. Spring break, this break. Like I would fly out to Seattle and hang out for a week and then fly back. And I flew here, and it was something like daylight savings time. There was some like cover story excuse of like, oh, I forgot to set my clock back, and came and picked me up like. 5.5, like forgot I was flying that day.
Wait, you were flying by yourself?
Yeah, from Seattle. Yeah, I flew by myself all the time.
And no, hold on. Why were you flying? I might have not heard you, but why were you flying by yourself? How old?
Oh, because they're divorced. Like since I was 8, I've been flying.
So you got like the little
they
wings.
Used to have somebody,
yeah, like my dad's got. Yeah, exactly. You get little wings. You get to run the plane.
How weird is that?
They'll fucking let you.
They'll bring you. So people never heard of like. So if your ears are popping on an airplane and you're like a young kid, they'll bring you cups with hot rags in them, and if you stick them on your ear. It completely cures the pain of ear popping. Yeah, it's just no one's going to go to.
Why does no one ever do that?
Because fuck you, you're an adult. Like no one cares about you. They care about children. But yeah, no, exactly.
You know why? I got a good reason. Probably because like
it's
if
too
you
much
fly
like work.
Alone, your parents aren't there to give you gum
and they don't want you to
tell
freak
you.
out.
But if you're fucking stewardess, somebody who flies every day is watching you. They're like, hey, they know all the tricks.
Yeah,
he's got a good point.
Yeah, bring you plenty of peanuts to like chew or a gum, to make it.
That's crazy that you never hear a story because kids fly alone all the time. Like whenever you fly, you usually see like a kid, that's doing that same thing. Like you never hear of like any molestation cases.
Oh, come on, man.
I mean, that is
nowadays
true.
That's something to be proud of.
The flight attendants
everywhere,
real salt of the
earth.
That
happens everywhere, but the airport. No, in the airport is just people. There's pieces of shit everywhere.
Dude, when I was a kid, I did it. Me and my sister.
You molested a kid when you were a kid?
Yeah, you did kind of come in on the wrong corner of that one.
Great one. No, we fucking.
It was at the airport,
and have to have someone. I forget. It was you have a chaperone. They would call it. I think.
Probably.
Or somebody, if there was an official name for it.
They give you one of those in North Korea.
Well, yeah,
I don't know. They maybe called it a chaperone.
And they're like, they had like a little break room area. It was pretty cool. Like they had TV. We were watching movies. Fucking had snacks. And we were just waiting. Man. And then they came and took us to the flight. Like it was just because we had a layover or something.
Maybe they got that fucking Men in Black
VIP treatment,
memory eraser thing.
Oh, so and they molested you.
Yeah, maybe it's like
that's your kidneys.
That's just a cover memory that you've got.
Okay.
Maybe they just know how to do it right and not get caught.
Some Jumanji.
They give me snacks and then they.
Dude,
I don't remember anything else.
So it's funny. So speaking of airplanes, I was talking to someone about these. So like a lot of kids, like I don't know about your kid, if he falls asleep in cars, like when you're driving around, if that's like that was. So when I was growing up, I was told that was the trick to like shut me up.
Yeah, he definitely does.
So that trend. So I've flown so much when I was a kid that I can't stay awake on airplanes. Wow. Like when I get into that seat and put the seatbelt on,
I can't fall asleep.
Like I fall asleep before takeoff, so I never get like the ear pop. Like, and I wake up because they're like, "Oh fuck, get off the plane."
How do you do that? How do you?
Oh,
sleep
it's
around a whole bunch of
so amazing because I hate them all.
breathing.
And so I'll just like throw my sweater over my face, or something. And just, I'm out.
No way.
Yeah, I'm out like drooling and snoring and like ruining everyone else's good time.
It is.
It really, yeah.
I can fall asleep, but it's hard.
So I've run into times where, like in my head, I'm like, I'm going to study for an exam. I'm going to do this project.
I'm just drunk.
Like can't fight it. Like have to fall the fuck out. It's like I really got to do this homework. And
I used to be like fly cool like that when I was younger because I had to fly quite a few times as a child.
Mm-hmm.
But I stopped flying for a while, and now I have a fucking terrible fear of flying, and I had to go fly. Listen. It's really kind of a cool story, if you don't mind. I'll tell you guys real quick.
I mind. Anyway, so...
Dude, fuck. All right, so I flew for work last year, or this year, actually, in February for the first time in, like...
Should I get a little, like, background music while you're doing this?
15 years or some shit like that, dude. Like, it had been since I was, like, 18 years old, and I'm 32. All right, so 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
And... I had developed this like phobia of fucking flying, man. Really, like I don't know where it came from. So I get on the plane.
Some people are scared of like leprechauns and shit.
The first flight I had flown on, like I was flying up to New York, so I split in right outside of DC. The airport out there.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, no, this is
this guy was really
he
cool.
died.
This guy
the story
really
has a terrible ending.
On the plane, I sit, whatever the seat that I had, because we were flying Southwest, was like a free for all, and I didn't even know that, so I'm rooked up, like I don't know shit about flying by myself, and so I end up sitting next to this guy. He's obviously a business dude too. Fucking, he could tell I was nervous, and he was just like, "Yeah, I fly all the time, man." Actually, like he just knew exactly how to fucking, make it like nothing. But when we landed, it was hell. And he goes, "That is the worst landing I've ever been on." And I looked at it. I never said it was my first flight. And I was like, that was the first landing I can remember being on for like however long. And I was fucking scared as shit,
It was bad, though? It was all shaky?
Oh, it was terrible, dude. We came in, and it was fucking weird. Like, the way
Came in
they
sitting
hit the
sideways?
ground. Yeah.
Wait, but you're over it now. Like, you lived through it. You realized that, like, being scared of flying is stupid.
You go hop on a
Let's say
plane
I
right
made
now,
it up
make
to New
money.
York, and then I made it back, and I was fine. And the way back, it was awesome. I had a great time.
So you're
then
fixed.
I had to fly to Atlanta for another deal, right? Mm-hmm. Right? So I get to Atlanta, no problems, right? But on the way back from Atlanta, I had this experience. I'll never forget it, dude. It was unbelievable. I legitimately, like, felt like I was floating in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like you realize you're
Oh, that
not
means
on
you're
ground.
free falling. I think
you
that's
are,
like
though.
a that's like a
that's
like a bad sign.
Roundabout way, yeah.
The real realization of you're in the air. There's
like
like
you're
nothing keeping you.
You're
from
in like a
falling.
tailspin or something. Like when
Well,
you're leaving your seat.
And so I was like, oh shit, I started getting a little anxious. I mean, obviously, it made me anxious, and I had to relax and everything, and I got over that. But that experience was incredible, man. Like, I don't think I would have had it.
So
if I had-
you're still broken though. You're scared of
I mean,
flying.
I'll still fly, but it's still all. I'm
A
scared.
time
as
out.
shit.
You said, do you guys mind if I tell a story? And your story was you had a flight and there was some turbulence?
Yes.
Okay.
I overcome my fear of flying. is
Did
what I'm
anyone
saying.
get stabbed or anything?
temporarily. You temporarily
Throw in
overthink
a
here.
stabbing at the end of that story just to keep people
tased
intrigued.
like by the sky marshal.
That's a terrible story. Who would want to be in that story?
Dude, so I was on a flight when I was out in Colorado in Aspen doing some bullshit, and like on the way back, so I'm on this flight. I wake up down here at the airport. I wake up from this to some guy screaming "gun" in the fucking flight.
Now that's a story.
No, and so Sky Marshal.
Rick, you're fired.
I quit.
So Sky Marshal and all them go back to this guy's
fire
seat,
me.
and the guys. So what happened is this guy woke up from a nap as well, and the guy sitting next to him had like a briefcase that said it had like yellow stickers on it saying like camera, video equipment, and news, and like all like it was very obviously marked
person's
up and
an
went through
idiot.
security as a
Yeah.
like this is the and apparently that guy, as being an idiot, had opened his case, and this guy like came awake and saw the shape of like a fancy camera and thought it was a gun. And
Why was the guy opening
started
his case? He was
screaming
stealing it?
Who knows? The guy was like an idiot. No. I'm saying the guy whose case it was.
Okay. So he's
Film-
opening his
the film
own
guy
case.
Opened his own case that was covered in stickers, and the guy next to him like started awake.
Oh,
And
the guy
started
next to him.
screaming
Okay.
bloody murder, and they
There's
actually
a gun!
they made them switch seats. So the whole time, like this whole thing.
When
unfolds-
was this flight? When was this flight?
Oh, it's like middle of the night, like from Colorado. So everyone on there is like
Like what-
passed
like
the
what
fuck
year
out.
ish?
Oh, this is in the last like 3 years.
Who the
we'll say.
fuck
Oh,
does
shit,
that
hell yeah.
anyway? If
Maybe
the guy
5
had a
years. I
gun,
bet
you're
with
just
time.
going to be like,
Yeah.
gun!
Yeah, no, just
You're the first motherfucker that's getting shot.
Well, and nothing like no one
narc.
jumped on the guy. Like as soon as the air marshals like walked over there and everyone like jumped up, like it was just a quick like. Oh, I see your
camera.
your
No, that
case
dude
says
could get
camera
charged.
fragile. He's
You
like,
know
yeah,
that's
this
a
dude
charge.
just spazzed the fuck out. Well, no, so they just switched him seats. It was you're one of those like I spent the next half hour still awake, just like
Yeah.
that was all right, and then
Everybody
back to bed.
calm down.
I've got a weird one.
Didn't
All
get
right,
crazy.
yeah.
Probably because they knew, dude.
Yeah.
All the security you pass, like the odds of you being able to get a gun on the flight on your
I
carry-on
don't know, man.
Are
People sneak
really
a bunch
easy.
of shit in there.
No,
Not
really.
if it's a real
There
gun.
ain't no way you're getting
How?
one in
No.
there,
So
dude.
so I because of the beer
They are
stuff,
so thorough.
I'm a technician out of the airport. I was for years.
Yeah.
So if you take any object that's is unhealthy or sharp, like so TSA, like the security you go through at the airport, they're autonomous. Like the airport is its own town and all the shit. So they cannot, under any circumstance, let anything not allowed on a plane through ever. So if you have a box knife because you need it for work, if you have a wrench because it's sharp, if you have a brush, you have to go through the same side backdoor security code entrances with your ID badge that the SWAT team uses, because your fucking knife is the same as their fucking handgun. So you go through and the back, the point of the back is you're not trying to slow down.
Yeah, but how would like a civilian get in there?
Well, no, so you just work anywhere. Like so where I work, they send me in for. I actually got to go renew my badge, and you go in for the class. You take a written exam after a 4 hour sit around bullshit video, and once you've knocked that out, they've done the background check. You're good to go. Yeah. Like so anyone that has that credentials or has that person's badge and security code can just walk through the back like where the SWAT team is. And there is security back there. You could randomly get stopped and your badge challenged and randomly said, like, hey, you know what? There's actually a magnet. We have our own X-ray machine over here. Come walk through it. But it doesn't happen often. Like, it's never happened to me in several years.
Especially if they knew you.
So anytime I want, I can run the airport the whole thing is, like, because you need tools. And
this guy didn't kill anybody yet. He's
all right, so it is possible. It's definitely very possible easy. To get one on there, but the odds are pretty...
odds are slow. We'll just say that, like, maybe their background checks are good enough that, like, they know that I'm not going to fucking...
but they would know that you're not supposed to be on the flight.
Well, no. The idea is you could just hand something off. Like, always like,
true.
I don't know.
In a heartbeat, you could bring drugs or whatever you want into the airport and go and take a piss, and the next guy can, and therefore they have gone through airport security, and they're able to
easily.
They're never going to be searched again through any airport.
Exactly.
Like the idea is just once you're through security, you're in this bubble that nothing bad can happen.
You ever been in an airport with drugs?
Yes.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I flew from Seattle like a dumbass. So I flew from Seattle with like. This is not a good story. I'm not gonna. Never mind. Never mind. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It never happened.
No, it never happened.
I'll tell
Jeff,
you.
Jeff,
meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Hold on, for editing reasons. Have you guys ever been at the airport with anything you're not supposed to have?
No, you don't have to edit that.
Yep.
Thanks for ruining my edit point.
Yeah. There's no magic. There's no movie magic.
So, what was your experience?
I wanted to bring an eighth of weed with me to Atlanta, and I cut the inside of my pants, like where your belt goes around.
Which is weird because Atlanta would seem like the one of the
but
easiest
I was like 16.
places to get weed.
I'll tell you, it actually turned into a whole fucking thing. Okay. So this weed that I brought there, we flew, I got on an airplane, snuck that eighth of weed in my pants before we left, and got there. I got really nervous when we were there, but all was well. I got on the flight, and we made it. And so we got into Atlanta, but we realized we didn't have like a bowl or any papers, and you're 16, so we couldn't buy rolling papers or anything.
Tinfoil, an apple.
Yeah, we did that, absolutely. So we had the tinfoil bowl going and whatever. We did the thing. But it got down to it, we're like, no, we need to get like a pipe of some sort or figure something out. So we
need a bong, guys.
We need something. So we took the MARTA, which is the public transportation in Atlanta.
Which is excellent, by the way.
Really?
I give that 2 thumbs
It's all right.
up.
It's a yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was very.
What the hell is MARTA? Is that just like the bus?
It's the public transportation. No, it's a train.
Atlanta,
oh, in Atlanta. Okay.
It's a train.
Transit Authority.
It's a train system.
I heard it was okay. It just reeks of cocoa
I think it's
butter.
what it stands for. Metropolitan.
It's not bad.
Atlanta.
It's
Railway Transit Authority.
It's public transportation however you go, but whatever. So anyway, we took it into town, and we went into the city, and ran into a gentleman who was hanging out outside.
Wait, are you on the bus at this point?
No, we're off. It's a train, and we're off. We're walking around the city.
Just a random bad neighborhood in Atlanta?
Yeah, it wasn't a great neighborhood. It's very similar. Very
get
similar
off the
to
bus.
This. There we go. It's a train again. But anyway, so we get off the bus train.
By the way. And it goes really fast.
Anyhow.
Oh, it's a train.
Yeah,
it's a train.
It's MARTA. I said railway transit.
Oh,
You're focusing on all the wrong points of the story. So anyhow,
He's already run into this guy.
Anyway, so we smuggled this weed into Atlanta via an airplane.
Yeah.
And so we're wandering around downtown Atlanta and bump into this gentleman. Maybe
anything but
drinking maybe a malt liquor beverage. And we ask him to, do us a favor and pop in somewhere and buy us some papers like a gentleman. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah, follow me. I know the perfect spot.
Follow me.
So he's
That's
asking
like
us, hey, what do you guys
number
do? Yeah, and we're like, oh, we brought all this weed down here because we want to smoke it. So, like, yeah, we got that. We got some money, too, because we're telling him.
Yeah.
We're jazzed about it. Why wouldn't we? He seems like a lovely guy. He's like, oh, absolutely, yeah, follow me. He walks us around this back alley and corners us and
God, you guys are retarded kids.
robs us blind.
Dude, maybe it's because I grew up in New York, but even like real young, I was always like very skeptical of anyone that I didn't know.
Well, I grew up in suburbia, North Carolina.
You want to hear some fucked up shit?
Cary, where everyone's friendly.
Okay, this is a kid that.
Wait, is this insane?
This is a kid that grew up in Cary, and I won't say any names. This is just what I heard, but it's a true story.
I could probably guess who it is, so I'm not going to say it. But like later, I'll remember to ask you.
All right, I don't know if you know, but if you do, this will definitely trigger it. So this kid's at Myrtle Beach with a couple of his friends. He's trying to find. You know it?
Okay. Every story that's great starts that way.
Myrtle Beach, trying to find weed. He's like with 4 friends in this hotel. They, I guess, come across this one big redneck dude. He says they can get him weed. Come back to my room. Knocks them out. They wake up zip tied and they get fucked for like 3 days in the ass.
That sounds like an urban.
It's
urban
not
myth.
because one of the kids got HIV. If I got the story correctly.
I don't know who this
that
is.
Sounds
at all.
even
like,
more like an urban myth when you add that detail.
Yeah, holy shit!
That was not some Myrtle Beach story.
One of the kids killed himself.
Like that's wild.
Yeah, so it's like
that is.
When
crazy.
was this?
This was. God, I mean, he went to school with me, so he was like,
Oh, this is in high school.
Yeah, back in high school.
That is an awful fucking way to do spring break.
So, like, not the 90s? Is that what we're talking about? Like the late 90s when people were raping people?
Yeah,
I graduated in 05.
Yeah, I graduated in 2000.
That's so nothing bad. Like when we were kids, like it was safe to like walk around at all hours and like be crazy. Like,
yeah, but that's just so much.
That's ridiculous. Because like nowadays, I'm sure you get shot.
Myrtle Beach is Myrtle Beach,
or robbed. Just
that's
like
a wild
not
West,
Atlanta. Like it's okay.
I mean, I don't understand how that happened.
You but really, though, it's really like there's no rules there.
You would have to, really like. Oh my! You'd have to knock me out like instantly. And 4 of my buddies,
how would that
like,
guy
how
do
the
that?
fuck do you not? I don't know.
Said it was some big guy.
Size was, yeah. So if you're a kid,
maybe
like,
it was like he
you may be,
slipped.
you may
When you
be
say
tough.
knock out, you mean
roofies.
like the guy punched him.
I don't know. I don't know the details of the story, but
or it's not real, or it's an urban myth. That
no, I'm like pretty sure
urban myths in
went
Cary,
down,
North Carolina.
But that's the thing. I remember being at Myrtle Beach with like me, Jeff, my buddies that we played in the band together, and they were all from North Carolina, and they would all try to find drugs. I remember one time they all went to get coke from another random people in a hotel, and I'm like, dude, even back then I was like, you guys go ahead. I'll be here. Like I'm not.
Everyone went to
like
jail in Myrtle Beach. Like it was. So I remember going there as a random like. A trip with some buddies because it was spring break or something stupid. We were there all of a day, and while we were there, we saw a guy get arrested for having a beer while on a bicycle, like riding around with it, and they just like set the tone, like get tackled, and they took his beer away, and then like wrote him a ticket as they like, oh well, now we know. And of course, everyone I've told you like, oh yeah, that's a thing. You can get a DUI on a bicycle. And it's like, oh, I didn't know that till like fucking went to Myrtle Beach and was like, hey, fuck this, we can drink in Raleigh. And like this dude got tackled for no reason in my child mind.
Not only just getting like a ticket, like I just don't trust motherfuckers, even like at an early age. But when you grow up in New York, like. You're constantly
getting molested, or
not molested, but
close to it. You're getting almost molested.
New York, everybody has a hustle, right?
Yes.
Like, I'll give you an example.
Cigarettes.
When I was riding the subway one time late night, I'm sitting there in the subway chair. This one guy is passed out asleep, and these 2 dudes are taking a razor blade and cutting his pocket open to get to his wallet. Well, they got his wallet and everything, but
that's not.
You're sitting there, you're witnessing this. On one hand, you could say, "Hey, don't do that."
Yeah, but you're
try
not
to
Batman.
wake the guy up. Yeah. And your ass will get stabbed.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you just realize, hey, look, everybody's got their hustle. Your dumb ass is sleeping on the subway.
Yep.
whatever. The guy wakes up. I said, "Hey, man, you got robbed." Because they were gone.
You
at
at
that
least
point.
told him?
Yeah, I told him.
Yeah, because
he's
you didn't
like
know what
looking.
those guys were holding.
And this motherfucker like accused me of doing it, and I'm like, fuck you, man. Like,
That's what's so funny.
I sat
To
here
help
and
somebody,
watched
and it's
it,
like,
but I didn't.
well, I didn't
do
try
it.
to help him. I just let him know
Whoa.
he'd been fucked. But these dudes were like fucking legit fucked up individuals that if I would have said anything, my ass would have been fucked up. And, you know, you see that constantly. I remember walking down the street one time, and you kind of get, after a while, you get this like sixth sense. And I'm not joking. Like, I'm not like a fucking ninja, whatever. I'm not trying to say I'm cool, but I would walk down the street and I would feel it. I remember I would feel it. I saw this kid like fucking.
You see people's eyes looking at you.
He's
so-
checking you out.
It was so far
You get to be a
down the
hot chick
road.
for a minute.
I'm
and
on-
just feel the
I'm on
the
34th Avenue and like going down towards the, you know, past an Empire State Building, and I couldn't even see the kid's face. He was just wearing a red sweatshirt. Something in my mind was like, that kid's gonna fuck with you. And I'm like, well, I could cross the street and walk down, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna see.
That's
what happens.
obvious, yeah.
So, you know, and there's millions of people on the street, you know. Sure enough, I get up to the kid. He deliberately pushes me and drops glasses. And he's like, yo, man, you broke my glasses. And I'm like, man, fuck you. I didn't break anything. But it's just constant like that. Every day.
People are trying to.
Everybody has, whether it's the Wall Street people robbing somebody or it's this dude trying to get money for an
Not
art.
too long ago, I was downtown.
People are gotta hustle.
Yeah.
Dude, I was in downtown Raleigh not too long ago, outside of a venue, and we walked back to the car for a minute. It was Halloween. We walked back to like change some stuff up. Maybe it was the year before, and
Yeah. You getting a beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
we're
still good. But anyway, so yeah, this guy comes walking. I see him from down the street walking up towards me and my buddy Eric, who were standing there. And yeah, sure enough, he comes up and he's asking us all this stuff, asking us what we're doing, telling us he's got all this money and he wants to go do something. And we're like, okay, you know, like you can go up there. There's bars around the corner. And I knew he kept fiddling around in his pants like he was going to fucking rob us. And I eventually said, look, man, you got to get out of here. Like, I got nothing for you. Fucking keep moving.
Did it work? Did he
Totally, yeah,
walk
eventually.
Wow.
Walked on. But even still, yeah, it's just, I mean, you got to.
And as you get, like, you can put off energy too, which is interesting. Like, you can, like, if there's a predator or a person trying to fuck
Yeah,
you
you
over,
can, yeah.
there's different things, like, people.
See, I think that is a. That's not forever. Like I don't have that. I'm gullible and like oblivious. I went through robbing once. We were kids. We were at this rave downtown at this art museum as like a benefit. And at one point, like later in the evening, some crackhead like ran in and grabbed the money box and just ran out and dipped. It was like right by Moore Square. But we're sitting there with a bunch of my buddies. I was like a large group of people sitting like smoking or something. And this guy walks up and is just sitting there hanging out. And one of my friends like grabs me and is like, hey, let me talk to you, and walks me off. And while he does, he mentions like, hey, that guy had a fucking big ass gun sticking out of his back pocket and he's about to rob them. Yeah. You were the only guy next to me I could fucking grab without yelling that. And sure enough, we were like a block away when he told me. We looked back and that dude robbed everyone in that little store. And they were all like 15-year-old, 16-year-old kids. And everyone, of course, like said, they were like, oh, I handed him like $3 and said that's all I had on me.
Yeah.
And the guy but it was it's like, oh, I didn't notice at all, though. That dude was I figured it was just a normal crackhead asking for like a cigarette from some kids.
You gotta keep keen, man. But you know what? He didn't rob you.
Exactly, dumb luck. Yeah,
Because-
karma. Karma.
What I was trying to bring up earlier is it's interesting.
You didn't lock the eyes. You didn't make the.
Yeah, you can put
didn't-
out energy
Yeah.
to where predators.
They can pick up on you that you know you got something.
Like for instance, I remember. I mean, this is more of a physical thing than like just vibes or whatever. But if somebody's, a lot of times I remember growing up, like being on the basketball court or in the park, and like people will punk check you. Like they'll deliberately fuck with you, bump into you while you're playing basketball or football or whatever. And if you don't immediately nip it in the bud, they know, okay, they do that a couple times to you. Now they know, okay, I can rob this motherfucker. He's not going to do shit.
That just sounds like a shitty place to live. I mean,
it's just like anywhere else. There's just more people, so there's more shitty people.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah. There's more good people too because there's more people. But
you're just going to have more,
because you know what happened to me in Raleigh. not that. Like, not that at all.
I remember a guy sold me a bag of fucking oregano.
Oh, you got that coming. It was in
tinfoil in Queens. And I knew while it was going down, he was fucking me over, but like halfway into it, I'm just like, I'm already in this. It was like $10. Like, fuck it.
In high school, everyone used it. Anytime someone brought you a dime bag that was it was like a black corner of a trash bag, like the hefty bag.
Yeah.
Then that was the like.
If you can't see
why is it not in a clear bag? You know, that's Pete Moss. That's
I remember him being like, "Yo, don't look at it right now. You see that window up there? Yo, she's a rat." So just wait till you get around the corner, yo, and then look at it. Like, oh, okay. Here's $10.
Just throw it over.
But it is crazy in those types of environments. The fucking gun laws in New York are so strict.
Yeah,
you can't have one. I remember
Bad people have guns though.
Yeah, only criminals.
Yeah,
but like you can't legally carry one. So I remember. Getting off work, I worked at like a cheesesteak place, like right now. It was called Carl's Cheesesteaks, but it stayed open till 4:00 in the morning. So I would go home on the subway by myself, and I remember I'd always go to Dunkin' Donuts and get like a boiling hot cup of tea or something, and just carry that with me, like just in case.
As your weapon?
It gave you confidence,
dude, and it would give you enough time to fucking burn
Stab
the
him
shit
with a
out
pencil,
of somebody.
like a normal,
I would argue.
twisted
I've seen
child.
somebody. No, I know somebody that was about to get in a fight with somebody much bigger than them, and they knew it. They knew it was going to happen, and the kid had a solo cup of beer and just right in the bigger dude's face, and it laid him out. Like,
yeah. See, dude, you don't even want to be in an altercation. Like you're.
Yeah, but sometimes if you know you're going to be in, what are you?
I had a moment like that.
All you need is a couple seconds.
Yeah,
I linked off of.
Be ready
my idea was just like,
run.
People that are willing to rob other people. I keep saying predators,
look for
but
weakness.
They
look for weakness.
They know who's a mark and who's not.
Yeah.
Like, and if you put out
That's
energy,
what I say about your hot water. Like, it gave you the confidence. So if they looked in your eye, they would see there's something different about this guy.
It may not even be. It's just like you don't have to give them like a mean look. You know, it's nothing like that. It's just like you are aware of shit.
Yeah,
and you're not gonna just be like, okay, I broke your glasses. Here's everything in my wallet. You know what I mean? Because that's what they want. Yeah. There's so many people out there that's like they're not going to bother with somebody. It's the path of least resistance. It's,
absolutely.
But that's the worst route you can take because that provokes an aggressor to be more aggressive if they're violent. You know, like violence has to have passive.
Yeah, it's like you get a shout at a bear kind of a thing.
You know, it's like a yin and yang.
Is that how you get? I thought you played dead
about
with
this
bears.
shit in New York City.
I think initially
where they have.
I think it's the opposite. I think you play dead.
Is all where the violence is going to happen because the predators look for people who can't fight back.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, look at the lion and the pack with they don't go after the fastest, most capable, food. They go for the one that's lagging behind because it's going
path of least resistance.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I'm a hustler, man. I've been a gangster for so many years that it's just like, no, I'm kidding.
This is your problem solver.
Yeah. But no, that's why I love North Carolina is because I can carry my fucking Glock. I'm a small dude.
Wait,
I'm 5'7".
Can you not carry guns in New York?
Day. No, you can't. The only people
even with a permit.
No,
you try getting a permit.
Oh, got you. They don't just so here getting your permit
it's Gotham City. They're not just going to let you have a gun.
And you got to go through a federal background.
But you can live in New York State and have a gun.
Yeah, well, I lived upstate, and
what can you bring your legal upstate gun into the city?
There is no handguns in New York City.
But you can have a right. You can have a long gun.
Yeah, but you can't walk around the city with a fucking long gun.
Really?
Absolutely. Dude, you want to get an idea of what it's like in New York? I took Megan up there and I was like, all right, we'll go to Canal Street where all like the cheap knockoff purses are. So I'm hanging out there and I had lived in North Carolina for so long. I've always, I have a little pocket knife in my pocket just like I do now with the little clip. I got cornered by these two dudes, like these two big ass dudes come up to me and like, quickly, I realized they were undercover cops because they had the bulletproof vests and like they pulled their badges out. They got me up against the wall, like, "What do you got there?" And they were all of this was due to a pocket knife. And
so you can't have a knife?
Does your pocket knife?
No.
Wait, what
kind of a bullshit?
No, you can have knives in New York.
You can have knives.
People get
in
stabbed
New York.
all the fucking time.
Dude, but
They have, like,
that's
the
because
At least I
stop and
assume.
frisk
people
at
who
will,
stab
right?
people don't care about the law. So, like, the law is
Stop and frisk,
you
right?
can't have a concealed weapon.
They got rid of
So,
stop and frisk.
Not even a knife in your pocket.
okay.
So you have to have it
My
like
bad, Jeff.
exposed on your
Giuliani.
And it
on
has
your
to be a
waistband.
certain
I'll have
length. And they take that shit very seriously.
And it has to be like fixed blade or can't be fixed blade or one of those.
It has to be like I don't know what the laws are in New York City, but all I know is they,
So
had
you-
me up against the wall and searched me because of a pocket knife. And
Like
I'm there
you had
with
it
my
out
wife.
or it was still in your pocket?
It was sitting just like this.
So they were looking at your dick
No,
and decided like, no, I think that's actually a knife. And then they ran up on you
That's
and
it.
They're like,
No,
that's
I-
very small.
as
That's what
they
he
walked
said.
away, like someone handed the other one like $5. That's what that was.
No, but what was funny is I gave them my ID, because they asked for my ID, and which is completely fucking unconstitutional for no fucking reason. But they saw that I was from North Carolina, and the cop goes, "So what? North Carolina, you guys just walk around with knives?" And I'm like,
yes.
Yeah.
you know what? I didn't even. I wanted to be like, dude, I could. It's an open carry state. Like we walk around with guns, but
Just provoke
you
it.
felt like you'd be a prick.
I'm not an idiot, and I wanted to move along with my day, so I just sat
Give him
there
the
and
answer he's looking
seethed
for.
and just said yes sir, no sir. But
And you got out. He
let me go. But that's the funny.
Did you get to
thing.
keep your knife? Like you just said, like,
Yeah,
put it in your
he-
pocket?
Oh wow, he's
Yeah.
cool. You ended up working it out.
Oh, he's so cool. He let me keep my tiny pocket knife.
yeah, but I'm saying like, he could have just taken
What-
it.
He
what a
could have been a
bitch.
total
So
dick.
you
but,
obviously got along.
because police are the fucking mafia for the government. But
yeah, but most of them, if you meet them personally, they're not bad people. I mean, I'll be real with you, dude.
no, cops aren't individuals. Most of them are. Okay.
Yeah, but
The
as soon as
law
they
is
get in
an
the
issue.
hive mind,
Yeah.
You're right.
as soon
when
as
there's
they
more
get
of them
around the
you're
hive,
not-
yeah.
it's not gonna work out well for you.
they're the queen. They're like all
Six of them around you.
see.
The idea that
Pulsating
you
with
couldn't
ooze.
like have a firearm to protect yourself, and you make it illegal for law-abiding citizens, and then all the freaking people around you that aren't law-abiding have guns, because like in Chicago they have very strict gun laws, and there's a murder a day. There's like a homicide.
Yeah, but it's
a day.
in like a small little part of
Well,
the
you know what?
neighborhood
Still,
where
one
the
would
guns
argue-
are bought and sold.
I can
man.
hear
The point is all those motherfuckers have guns. All the gang members.
Yeah, but they probably
have
get them
guns.
from the government.
Well, who
Doesn't
knows
matter
where
where.
they get
What do you
them
mean
from?
they get them from?
I get you.
I
So
mean,
you're-
like CIA. I don't know. Somebody's dropping them off so they all kill each other.
oh,
Some weird
Possibly.
eugenic.
along with all the crack they cook.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Yeah,
CIA
yeah,
brings.
yeah, yeah.
But
Keep them down.
The
Yeah, if you-
argument that like,
keep
what
them
if
down,
they
keep them
didn't
killing
have
each
the
other.
laws that they would be like there would be more. You
No,
know what I'm
I
saying?
think
like if
the-
they didn't have the laws,
No.
there would be more.
Well, here,
Yeah, no,
here,
I
let me
think
give
the
you a
idea is
little food
if-
for thought here.
just to play devil's advocate.
Let me play here.
Thought for
Check
food.
this out. Say every female, the day she's born, she's issued a pink Glock, right? And everyone knows that. Let's just say that's just how our society was. Oh, she's born, she got her pink Glock. All right. Every predator, every rapist would maybe think twice when they wanted to fuck with a girl. 'cause
Well, they
they're
would
like,
just get like a brown 44 or something, wouldn't they? They just like or get a bulletproof vest, a blue.
And a
Yeah,
taser.
but
A
Jeff,
blue.
hear me out.
Here.
If you knew every female was issued a firearm the day she was born, and you were a rapist, wouldn't you say, "Well, maybe I shouldn't fuck with that girl or try to rob her"?
I would
'cause
fuck with the
know
ones that
she
didn't have
had-
hands.
or the ones who you knew
I would go
didn't
after
have
the
guns.
amputees.
But yeah, no,
Exactly.
so
Ones who couldn't
yeah.
use the guns.
So running-
proving the point.
running with that is
Wait.
That would be a surge in
I just want to
amputee
double
rape.
check because the thing that I was questioning was that just to play in that
The
devil's
laws.
advocate is that if there were more laws, I'm sorry, what if there were no laws? They would have been more people dead. Like
well, no, but
somehow
so
the laws have
it's what
prevented
you
it from
are.
being more than it would have been.
Okay,
You're-
Casey wants to say something.
You're
Hold on.
correct in that more people will be dead, but it's almost a controlled on purpose. So the idea is less gun control means more guns on the side that's unbad. Like if you say a lot of criminals have guns, the less gun control laws makes a lot more not criminals have guns, and so with
the
that
theory, if you
inherently
outlaw guns,
there's going to
guns
be
are
more
owned by
death
outlaws.
of people that are illegally using
But
guns.
it's actually John Locke's book.
And with enough time of that, some of those deaths will deter people from doing that behavior because of that, because of knowing someone that got, because they robbed the wrong person, like that sort of thing. It's like Texas, you don't have as much of that kind of violence.
It is 100% proven fact that more guns equals less crime.
Yeah.
It's like
at the cost of the first couple, though, because if it's business as usual, a person dies every day in Chicago, and it's business as usual. In order to change that statistic, there's going to be probably a short-term spike of those 50 people had to die in order for
I could see that
to chill
happening.
out. It saved hundreds, but it's but
again, no.
The deaths are considered acceptable because it's criminals instead of.
What about the Las Vegas shit?
That was such a fluke, though. And there's a perfect example about how there wouldn't have been any law to stop that guy because he passed every check.
That's still on the crime side.
So how in the hell would you
is more
prevent that?
I mean, that's the argument.
Yeah, but why is no one talking about that anymore?
I don't know. That really is odd.
That was the biggest mass shooting in American history.
Of afterthought.
Very odd.
And
happened
it was a
in
flash in the
September
pan.
1st, right?
It was, maybe, I don't remember.
No,
I haven't talked about it since then.
It's because he didn't leave a note.
Oh, that's right. Because my birthday was September 2nd.
Regardless,
I think it was the day before my birthday.
It has been. You've heard very little about.
And then 9/11 was my birthday month. Whenever my birthday comes around, there's
you need to die.
It's terrible.
It's causing so many deaths.
The cause.
Maybe I am.
Hey, let's take a quick break.
Omega.
And then
I think it's got something to do with the time of year, man. Fall.
Let's take a quick break because I really want a cigarette, and then we'll jump right back into this topic. And we had some videos we wanted to talk about, so do that.
Oh yeah.
So
quick
break.
Chum.
This song sucks.
This does suck. Yeah.
All right, we're back.
Straight to my idea.
This is the Limelighters, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what Limelight is like.
Oh wow!
Every
time I'm in the Limelight, this is the song.
Singing a song to his boyfriend.
All right, Mighty Quinn would have been better.
Yeah, Mighty Quinn.
Yeah. Eric, what was the name of that song you liked? Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
Chicka Chicka Boom. You mean the bongo song?
Yes.
King of the Bongo?
Yes.
We did that last podcast.
No, we did that last podcast. Yeah.
I know, but I like
God,
it.
this really is
good. Mono Chow.
How do you even have how did you come across this? Was this failed Christmas songs of the 30s?
I have a fuckload of music for film, and I love this song. This came from Breaking Bad.
This is warbling. I think that's the that he's making. That's a warble.
This song in particular was in the scene in Breaking Bad at one of the last episodes where he's in the desert rolling the barrel of money and he's alone, and this is the song.
Oh, he's burying it all? Is that what it is? He's burying it in the desert?
He had already buried it and he had one barrel left.
That was an awesome show.
Oh, dude, I watched that whole fucking show 3 times.
But it's one of those shows where it's always going to be an awesome show, no matter what generation watches it. Yeah. They're going to that's a great show.
Where they got the kid Jesse, he's he has forced to make meth for those guys, and they've got him chained in a fucking.
Wait, everybody's
shed.
seen the show though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You've seen Breaking Bad?
No, I've never seen it.
There's always one guy.
Wow. No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it for years. For years and years.
I was saving
so
it.
Cool.
Guess we gotta duct tape you to a pole
so many times.
What's that?
I mean, I was gonna save it and watch it sometime, but I've already been spoiled. I'm still probably gonna watch it.
You should watch it.
I don't think you
It's
can
good.
spoil an entire.
No, you definitely can't.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's how many seasons is it? 10?
It's stressful. It's a stressful show to watch.
It's a
how many seasons
fucking masterpiece, though. I want to say
I don't remember. I actually haven't finished it.
I want to say 7 or 8.
A good chunk of it.
No, when's the last time you saw Commando?
Dude, so I had a roommate who would watch the VHS over and over while he would lift weights as a weird, it'd be going on in the background all the time. So I've seen that in the last 10 years.
Time.
We'll say.
Maybe that's what I should.
Whenever the last VCR died.
Maybe that's how I'll get jacked.
Wait,
you just sit and lift weights and watch that and Predator over and over and Like that's all you need. That's all the motivation you need. Yeah.
What is the motivation?
I mean, you'll have big arms.
You get to work out.
Supposed to make the new Predator.
Dude, you got to see this shit.
With Arnold, and it's supposed to be.
It's with Chris Hansen.
All right, this is when he's getting tooled up.
To ketchup.
So we're watching
before
him
the Indian
put all
dies.
his gear on.
Jacked.
Yeah, but
it's so funny if he drew a dick on his own face.
And this started everybody putting on
Why did
gear.
we
after
just
that.
see it? I just saw this the other day. Why?
Why are we watching this?
Did Rambo do it after?
You drew first blood.
But I'm trying to find the.
Did Rambo do it with like the grenades and stuff, and like they put like his bow and arrow?
All right. You want to see something funny?
Here it is. Check this shit out right here.
Oh, jeez.
This is the montage.
The best part in that movie was when he kills the guy in the airplane.
I don't remember a chance.
And then he's like,
why
"Hey,
are we not doing this?
Is that guy sleeping?"
No, here.
Yeah,
We
he's
could
sleeping.
recreate this, Pete.
All right, he
Sleep.
gets his daughter, right? This is the montage I was trying to bring up.
I totally did not say the line right, by the way, when I said
We just watched Commando today, me and Megan. It was fucking hilarious.
What was the line he said when
But you
the
loved
steward, when the airline lady comes up and is like, "Hey, is he okay?"
He's dead. Please don't bother my friend. He's dead tired.
That's the best part.
Look at this montage with young Alyssa Milano.
As his daughter, of
Dude,
course.
what is with
not
the
his
damn
lover.
internet right now?
Are you streaming? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, it's YouTube.
No, I meant
Oh,
that
here
camera.
we go. Oh, somebody dubbed shit over to this.
That
But
is
look,
young
good
Alyssa
setup.
Milano.
look at this montage. You're like, ho, 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 ho.
Oh, she's like, what? She
Look,
wasn't
they
ready
do-
for that kiss.
they
She
do
was not ready
karate.
for the kiss.
They're just doing karate together.
Yeah, why would you not?
Like every
dude?
father and daughter. And then
Yeah.
check this out.
know.
They're
Oh,
just
now
feeding
we're
a deer.
They look
Feeding
so
deer.
awkward.
Where the fuck did he get a deer?
my
Everything
God.
looks
Yeah,
awkward about their
No, you
relationship.
just walk into the woods with your daughter and you
Yeah.
feed deer. I, mean,
I don't know
that's
how many
a
times
regular
It's such a
occurrence.
magical
Deer
day
just
for
walk
us.
up to you.
Oh, we go hiking.
But even everything they do
God,
is look
it's
awkward.
hiking.
It's an awkward moment
On
every
hiking,
time.
on fishing.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just you teach a man to fish and they eat forever.
Yeah.
You give man fish. Eat
You
for
teach
day.
a girl to fish.
Oh, yes.
She becomes a woman.
Slap those.
Oh my God, this is hilarious. It's a fish.
Oh.
It's a fish. It's
so
so funny.
slippery.
It's so funny. Fishes are funny.
So slippery.
Let me carry you.
Oh, thank you, Papa.
Oh,
Oh, I
that
can't.
was violent.
Face
Every
Vegan
part
cannonball.
is really awkward, I feel.
dude, the whole movie is gold.
Guess you won't
They
be
made this a movie.
alive any longer.
Oh, didn't she makes him? Doesn't she make him lunch? And it's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He's like, good.
No, he goes.
Who produced
He
that
goes,
movie?
what's
Just look
in
it up.
this?
Just
And
look
she
it up.
goes,
Who was the
you
producer?
don't want to know.
Oh, that's. And then he like laughs it off. He's
Semen.
Like, oh, and
Oh,
starts eating
semen
it.
sandwich, yeah.
And there's nothing like they don't elaborate on it.
But it's so bad. That's the first line of the movie. It's like
I'm
here.
dying to know who produced that movie, just because, like, who is the person who was like, "I'll front you to cash"?
I think it was Weinstein.
Oh,
I
it's
think
it's
it
the
was it
same,
Weinstein?
same guy that did
Weinstein.
all Stallone's early
You know what I'm
stuff,
saying?
right? Like
I'm guessing
who
it's
would
all
be like
the guy who did Predator
I
too.
will pay
like
you.
First Blood.
I would
and
probably do it, but I don't
Rambo
have much
2.
to offer.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I'm just
I'd produce
curious.
you with my $70.
You're just saying you don't really care what his name is, but you're like, why would you ever do that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Like,
just for the shits. And
So you can
giggles. Why
you
would
can
this
boycott
guy-
his
why
whole
would you
you
genre.
ever want to make
1980
I
this
believe that this would be a good idea.
It was
okay, but
Commando.
if you grew
1985 was a 20th Century Fox film, but all
1985.
those movies back then were like that. And Schwarzenegger was so fucking badass. I don't know about
Did
you
say
guys, but when
producer, there's a
Terminator
guy
2
that-
came out, I wanted to be fucking.
I saw it twice in theaters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you could swing
I
the
wasn't
shotgun
supposed to-
while
I
riding
was-
the
yeah,
motorcycle. Yeah.
I was like, what, 12? I was not supposed to be in that movie theater watching that movie.
Yeah,
which,
fuck.
which one? Terminator 2?
Yeah, it was definitely like rated R.
What's
Do
that?
not-
Matthew what?
13-year-olds in there.
What are you looking at?
Who's the producer over there under it? Matthew what?
I don't know
left?
where it is.
Wiseman? Okay.
Oh, it
Matthew
is.
Wiseman.
It is.
That guy decided that was a good idea. He was like,
Chosen-
I'll
chosen
put
folk.
you know, what?
It is a
At
Weinstein.
least at
Dude.
1985, how much do you think it costs to make
At
that
the
movie?
time, it wasn't any worse
What,
or
couple
better.
100,000?
It wasn't worse or any better than any of the other movies back
Oh,
in
I'm not
'85.
arguing
But
that,
also
I'm just saying,
back
how much
then,
do you
too,
think
listen,
the-
back
the
then-
Commando cost.
I just remember like growing up as a kid,
Casey?
like army shit was awesome.
Oh fuck!
It
yeah,
was like
dude.
they had books. I remember that they'd
Yeah.
give you in school. It'd be like, "Hey, here's all the weapons from World War II."
Yeah.
and then like the
It was
the
so
Vietnam
much
War.
cooler.
It was, and like everybody was into like playing war and like doing that. And then like the '90s hit. It was like, nah, we gotta get rid of all the fake guns and
Dude,
the fake.
I've got a son now, and I was looking to get him like a toy gun because we play
and then
around
guess
with
what?
him.
Now everybody's getting shot by people.
Yeah, and all the fucking guns are damn Nerf
It's
guns.
crazy, right?
You got to spray paint like neon on them, right?
No, that's what guns look like now. They're just all neon color. They look retarded. I remember like back when I was a kid, they looked like legit weapons.
They look like legit weapons.
Dude, now
And people respected them a little more, I think. Maybe by dumbing them all down like that, people just...
No, I think the people that lost their minds because of...
You remember people got shot because
studying
Yeah,
guns.
it was
when
a couple kids got shot and
Yeah.
it ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, just like fireworks.
Damn New
Well,
York.
yeah, it's always some, like they make.
No, but I just
a big
remember
deal
like
out of it.
more like these kind of movies. So they were really popular because everybody was into
Fuck
seeing
yeah, dude.
a M16.
What was,
oh my god,
what was
never
the,
seen an M16.
What was
Oh my
the
god, M16
Stallone
looks
movie
awesome.
that was really stupid?
Well, there's Rambo. There's Rambo.
Yeah, but not Rambo. It was like what the fuck, Rambo? What else?
Like what when like
Oh,
there was
God.
Cobra.
Judge Dredd.
Cobra.
Dude, there's so many
What is
scenes.
the Cobra knife? The Cobra knife.
There's so many scenes in Cobra where like the lav mic is showing.
Yeah,
And,
oh,
like,
there's-
just stupid shit in that movie.
Oh wow, that's awful.
Yeah, that movie had a lot of movie
How
mistakes.
come I
I'm
never
sure.
saw that?
You've never seen Cobra?
Cobra's
No,
another
never.
like
You haven't
cult
lived.
classic.
Look up the Cobra knife.
Dude, I've never even seen Commando, man.
You never seen Commando?
Well, now you can.
What year were you
What
born?
is this? There's like a bunch of gay stuff.
Oh, you just can't
That's
spell.
crazy. You
Yeah,
know
Cobra,
why.
American Boys. Dude, that's my
I
film.
mean, I probably saw
It's a cold
little bit of it,
bro.
but I don't remember seeing like.
There's no L
I feel like you would have seen it
in Cobra.
Oh,
by accident.
Yeah.
There's no El Cobra.
Yeah, that's what happened.
it's not Cobra.
It's Cobra.
Evidently, a
Cobra.
Oh, you gotta-
Cobra.
is a bunch of fucking gay people.
Eric wants to see the knife. That's what he was saying. Put in the word.
Check this out.
Oh, you know what? I think I've seen this one.
Yeah, it's on like Netflix right now or Hulu. It's on one of those.
The supermarket scene.
Oh yeah, his car. I forgot about his car.
Oh yeah,
Sliding.
like there's a ton of continuity issues in this movie.
I have not seen this one.
There's a lot of issues in this movie. It's like continuity. Yeah, awesome.
50. He
You know,
keep
that's
it
probably
50.
the real. That was probably
Not
actually the
100,
real
but
one
50.
though. But this is a 50. That's the year of the car.
Dude, what's crazy is Stallone looks exactly the same. Those fucking
That guy. is-
human growth hormones that he's on.
Isn't he retarded or something? There's like a.
You know, like
It got him out of.
Do you know his
I know.
story?
So he didn't go to
Do y'all
the
know
war.
his story?
He didn't go.
About
He
how
didn't
he
go to
got
Nam
famous?
because he did porn, and that's how he got out
He
of
did
it. But
porn?
No,
yeah,
it's
no,
not
that's how
true.
he. What?
Wait, what's
No,
the
that's not how he
story?
got
That is-
famous, dude.
Wait, hold on.
No, it's not-
wait.
I didn't
One
say
person at a
that.
time. One person
Yeah,
at a
he
time.
said he didn't go to the war.
No,
'cause
he
did
didn't. He
porn.
didn't
Oh,
go
I
to
think so.
Nam because he was filming porn, and that was one of the
not-
exemptions. That's how he got out of going to Nam, and that was
That's not
it was
what I
his
heard.
stink
Why they
at one
rustling
point.
up that store?
Why he did Rambo and all of that because he did.
Look at the Jew over here
he
worried
draft
about the
dodged,
store.
you know, by doing porn
Wares.
at the time. But you know,
Okay.
he was
I
like
never
half
heard
retarded,
that.
and then he
I've never heard
got
that.
he got on for Rocky, and he got like really lucky. Like he was.
Yeah, but where's
he
the
is
part that
Rocky.
he's retarded?
Oh no, he is. Like he's
All
got
right,
like
so
half
here's-
facial paralysis because that isn't just like a tough jawline. That's an actual like he looks
Bell's
funny.
palsy?
Like
You know
his
how that
face is lumpy in person. Like he's
think you're
got
right.
he's got
That doesn't
in the
mean you're
sense of,
retarded.
physical.
Like, dude, all right, Casey, I'll
deformity.
just tell you the story. So the
In
reason
the
why
microphone.
it looks weird is because he. Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The reason why he looks weird is because when he was born, he had to be pulled out by like forceps, so it like fucked his
By
head
his
up.
lips?
Yeah, no,
No,
forceps.
he's right.
They had
He's
to
right.
grab his head, so it made his head look weird. He's not fucking stupid. He just looks stupid.
No.
So
No,
he
add
always
something here.
wanted to be an actor. That was his thing. And
Yeah.
He kept trying to get these roles, and they kept giving him like goon roles.
Casey, I think what you're talking about is that the fact that he's getting so many action movies and he's done his own stunts that he's messed up his body to where he can't like walk very well.
I didn't know
No,
that.
he said
No, I'm
he-
talking about like
that's what he talks about.
in Rocky. He
In
was like dumb,
Expendables.
like Rocky. Like,
Next
No,
on
that
What's
was-
Up with Stuff, we talk about Stallone, and nobody knows what the fuck happened. This is a lot like our net neutrality
I mean, that's not true.
conversation.
That's actually like completely. That's
No,
completely
the
opposite. He was-
forceps.
Hold
thing,
on,
though,
why do you
I
know so much about Stallone?
No, he's just an inspirational guy. I read about him because he had like he had to go through.
Did you have a book, like a
It's just a
biography of
motivational thing.
Stallone
Like,
that
that's
you
also,
walked
like,
around with?
One of those
I'm just
fun movie
interested
facts.
in reading about people who are successful, just to see how they got there. Like it's just interesting to me instead of reading about fiction. And, like
I read
shit that
about
didn't
losers.
happen, it's like interesting to read about people who like had to struggle. Like this guy actually, he had to sell his dog.
Stallone
to
had
pay-
a
to
Stallone.
pay
Who would
for
buy
food.
a dog?
Who would sell it?
So he was sitting outside a liquor store, had to sell his dog, and he goes to finally sell the Rocky script. And they were like, he had to negotiate because they didn't want him to be the lead. They wanted someone else to be the lead. And he had wrote that after watching another fight. It was a boxer who fought Muhammad Ali, who was like some guy from Philly who was a white dude who was just, terrible boxer, but just kept fighting him, and gave him the business, but didn't win the fight, but was effort wise, showed up. So it inspired him to write the script. But anyway, so he sells his dog, and then a couple weeks later, he gets the negotiation. They give him the money. He goes back to the liquor store where he sold his dog and waits out there for a week, all day, waiting for this guy to walk by. Hopefully the guy walks by with the dog. The guy won't sell him the dog back. He ends up buying his dog back for like $1,500, and this is back in the 70s, right? When Rocky was made or whatever. And he got to give the guy a role in the movie, and the dog is in Rocky.
Nah, that's pretty
That's
crazy.
the dog,
it's the dog
from
yeah.
Rocky, yeah. Like,
I got you. So
it's a really crazy story. Like, I would encourage you to read it. Like, I don't want to tell it because it's not.
I
got
gotta tell you, it sounds riveting.
Well, so
It's just
in
interesting
wikiing him
to,
though, like he does.
The
So
guy went through a lot of shit.
the obstetrician at his birth did sever a nerve, and he's got partial facial paralysis. So that's why that slur is not like an Italian accent or any of that. It just happens to be that everyone assumed that it was. He's got severed nerves. He can't. He can't talk
or whatever.
He can't.
Yeah. The forceps got him, but he's not retarded. He's just got to. He's just, it just makes him, gives him a little bit of a struggle, but it's not because he's he's not disabled mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Have you guys seen this?
Getting
This
robbed
is
here.
like a
This is-
RoboCop remake thing. Dude, watch this.
Is that a dude in a wig?
So this is that famous
Yeah.
dick shooting scene from RoboCop, but watch this shit.
No way. That's
Well, there's just happens to be another two dudes trying to rape someone with their dicks out.
Wow, that was
Where did you get this from?
Fuck you, Pete. Fuck you.
Oh, it's a long time ago.
Fuck you.
It gets so
No,
funny,
Pete.
dude.
Fuck you.
the worst thing ever.
I hate
like
you.
Turkey shoot.
I hate you right now. I hate you so much.
What town is this?
Stop it,
Detroit.
Look at all these dudes coming out.
dude. Where the hell?
With their dicks out.
Detroit has a lot of rape.
Christ, man. This is fucking horrible.
Oh God! For the love of God!
so much penis getting shot. It's so terrible.
I can't watch any more of this.
Pete, of course you found this.
you
Of
gotta
course you
see
found this on the internet.
You gotta see the last guy.
Oh, the humanity!
How many dicks did he
don't-
shoot? Oh,
There's a
oh, there's
few-
pieces. Oh, there's pieces coming off. Jesus.
I can't watch. This is awful.
Look, watch this.
No, I can't.
This is great.
Oh no!
Fucking do it!
That guy
This is
decided
the
to
most
make a
fucked
stand.
up YouTube video I think I've ever seen in my life. I'm telling you that right now.
I've never seen anything like that before in my life. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever
Kids, you missed the last scene.
Oh, he did it on purpose. He
Yeah,
did
no.
so
That
don't
whole
worry.
like
Don't worry.
You
Don't
missed
worry.
it.
not having regrets.
Watch it now.
There's so much penis. So much.
Dude, he made him
Oh, it's so
hard.
much penis.
Stand up against he made himself hard.
Dog doesn't even
Like-
look right now.
Oh,
He
wow.
made himself hard.
The dog turned away.
Trying to fuck with RoboCop.
Oh, you're welcome.
13.
He provoked
There are
the
13
already
dudes
said it.
lying
Fuck
on
you,
the
Pete.
screen having been shot in the
Still,
dick by
why you would
RoboCop.
provoke RoboCop in that situation. He has the upper hand.
Oh my
I
god!
can't even watch RoboCop anymore.
All right. So from all of that nonsense, go to the center thing. This is a thing that Jeff and Eric showed me. This guy is. Let's have someone to talk about it. This guy's like some weird Ukrainian fucker. What was this? What's their Scandinavian? It's some weird Scandinavian musician.
I don't know. I have no background.
You guys
for
showed
it.
me this.
How did you find it,
Eric? How'd you come up with this?
It's been around.
It's
for a
one of those
while.
like memes. It was a meme.
Yeah.
I saw it as a meme, and it was like one where it was like, "Hey, I just got off of work" or something like that. And he goes, "That's how I'm feeling."
But this guy's like this all the time. He's like a musician dressed. He's dressed. He's bedazzled head to toe.
This is like their type of techno. Is what it is.
So this is Scandinavian techno.
Yeah.
Scandinavian or Ukrainian?
It's a little bit of both, probably.
Yeah, maybe like
Scandinavian.
Oh, it's
Russian.
this weird Russian singer.
Yeah, there you go.
Chum Drum.
That's the song.
Bedroom?
Shum Drum.
More
Bedroom.
likely Ukrainian.
I think that's the name.
All right, let's pop this on.
Ukraine's right.
Let's give it a quick pop on.
You're gonna know this if you hear it.
You're gonna know this.
No, I don't know this.
You don't know this track?
It's so weird. Wait till he does the tongue thing.
Yeah, that's the best part of this.
That's a dude?
Yeah.
See? Yeah, with starfish on his head.
Wait, it gets good.
I assume this is old, right?
This is a live
It looks old.
video too. It's like this is like a dance club.
See, these are really the kind of videos I want to be making now.
With
It's
gay
basically just
Russian
like
dudes.
this. Yeah. Very similar to
Yeah,
this
this
style.
Is a gay
I'm
club.
so down with
This is a gay
that.
club.
So chum drum bedroom. Such a weirdo.
That is the creepiest. That is so fucking creepy. That's how he gets all the girls.
That's how you
She's freaking out. She can't even handle it, man.
That's one way to pick him up.
Oh, he's so
a lot
weird.
of tongues.
See, here's
so
the problem
weird.
with just watching something
I
funny.
know, but that's what I'm saying.
We're all laughing at something.
That's what I'm
Other
saying,
people will
like,
check it out. Like
if
just
you hear the
Google
song and you know it, that's what I'm saying. You know
YouTube
okay,
weird
okay.
Russian singer chum drum bedroom and just and enjoy. Be
Also-
thankful. Oh, and RoboCop.
RoboCop shooting a bunch of dicks.
Gotta drop that line.
Maybe not
Never wanna watch
that one.
RoboCop
You gotta let people know
Please
that.
don't watch
Look,
that.
look at this.
Please don't watch
Look at
that.
this.
That video.
That's literally what you have to type into YouTube. RoboCop shooting a bunch of
You
dicks.
typed in RoboCop dick funny.
Yeah. And it came up.
It has a graphic content
And it works.
disclaimer.
You could go the RoboCop
Like you
dick
needed
funny route.
All right, I'm going to take...
Mystery solved.
Let's get back to the show real quick. So I wanted to tell Eric... And I don't know if I told everybody.
Okay, wait.
here.
Sorry, I was not here earlier of the first part of the podcast.
Yes.
Put that out there. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, we didn't even say that.
No.
I know. I totally did not bring in the introduction.
Gun jumpers. Look at this guy over here with the snacks.
Always got the munchies.
All right, I'm eating a banana right now.
I think he just ate fruit snacks, and before that he was
Blueberries.
eating.
Raspberries.
Eating a banana. Let's just keep in mind, he's eating a banana after he made us watch a video of dudes getting blown, their dicks getting blown off.
Is that how you eat a banana?
It does
peel?
kind of make you feel
He's
like
got some hot dogs in the car.
Look,
it's kind
dude,
of like serial killer-ish.
I
Like
can
when they put
deep
it that
throat a
way.
banana. What's the matter with that? I think, doesn't everybody deep throat a banana?
Didn't you tell a story last week about masturbating in front of one of your best friends? as a
Dude, doesn't
kid?
everybody eat a banana in one bite? So hey, listen.
Take it from the top.
Back to football.
I was checking the analytics for the podcast.
Okay.
We have 1% of our listeners are in France.
It's amazing.
Who the hell is listening to our bullshit?
What is 1%
Well,
of
how
five
many
people?
listeners do you have?
Well, my last name
You
is
have 100 listeners.
Fort
That's only
Lewis.
one listener.
Yeah, I think that's about.
Oh, shit, you've got a relative. Someone was Googling
Yeah,
you.
some kind of
You know what I mean,
weird
though. I mean, I'm an
relative
accountant,
that's
so I gotta play
listening
the
because my
numbers,
name's
you know
on
what I'm
there.
Did you just text me those are all natural?
Yeah.
Hey, stop talking about my tits.
What are you talking about? The gummy bears?
Yeah.
Cheddar cheese.
Thanks.
You read it too late.
Cheese is old and moldy.
So 1%. What is that like on the board?
It's
What would
one
that-
person.
What if we only have 50 listeners? That's half a person.
No, I don't know exactly. It just said 1% of our listeners was in France.
Or what if we only had 10 listeners?
99% was in the United
I
States.
know how to speak French.
In your,
I don't think
has
it
it gone
doesn't read.
down since
Be a
listeners, or has
percentage
it
of
gone
person.
up?
Oh, it's steadily going up.
No, it
It's
doesn't
still-
read
it's
less
steadily
than
going
1%.
up.
Yeah. I mean, the more episodes you have,
I'm really surprised.
Yeah.
Well, I am glad that
surprised.
people are enjoying
Yeah,
listening to y'all.
I'll do that. I'll do a little clap.
Oh, a clap?
Yeah.
A little round of
I'll do a little, 1% in France.
Casey,
I'm not impressed.
Casey, clap.
You hate French people. That's why.
I do.
That's what it is.
I do. And it's not their fault. They just smell bad.
All right.
You are.
Anyways, no, we don't need to make more enemies. We got one guy there, and we love him. Her. We love her.
Bonjour, sir.
We love her for everything she does for us.
Bonjour.
Stores.
She made us international celebrities.
Why are you saying it's she?
Because I don't want to think of a French dude that wants to hear your opinions.
Hold on. This is for our French listener.
I love when I hear
Je
Anderson's
me parle.
voice.
Baguette.
Buongiorno. El Turnbridge File Podcast Feno.
That's
You just picked a bunch of words there isn't a French
Italian.
Oh,
translation
no, dude, that's
for.
French.
That's Italian.
that's
That's Italian.
Nah,
job.
dude, I
Buongiorno.
know how to speak French, dude.
Buongiorno.
Baguette.
You didn't spit enough.
All right, hold on.
Beret.
Oh, you got to get a banana in your mouth. There you
You had
go.
to smoke underhand the whole time.
You got a good French accent, dude.
We.
Are you
So-
French?
A
Oh, you
bit
got French blood?
condescending. Yeah.
Has anybody...
What is hand? What is hand?
Technically,
What's-
we all
what's
have
hand
French
come from?
blood.
It's Irish.
Anglo.
Irish? It's all Irish?
Oh,
Jews?
Hannon.
Irish Jews?
Oh, Hannon. Yeah,
Hannon.
there you go.
No, my dad's Irish. My mom's Jewish.
Oh, okay.
Or Catholic.
Well, there's a hand.
But I feel like
That's
all
a good
Irish
point.
people are probably Catholic.
Where
It's
there's
very
a
common.
hand, there's a.
Look, there's a hand in everything.
What's your
I mean,
mom
you
then? What's
do
your
it.
mom? Is your mom French?
Shapiro. No, it's Austrian.
His mom's a MILF.
Oh, she's German.
I've met Jeff's mom. She's a nice lady. How dare you?
How dare you, Pete? That was horrible.
Yeah,
to
she's
say.
a
She's a sweet
Turnbridge
lady.
File.
making everyone
And she's
uncomfortable.
a great cook,
Pete,
by the
did I
way.
hear
She's
you
a
have a hot
fantastic. She
sister
made
that none
Thanksgiving
of us are
dinner.
gonna
It
meet?
was fantastic.
Hold
by the
on,
way.
guys. I know Shirley. She's a good-looking lady.
Surely you jest.
There's nothing wrong
No,
with
we just
saying Shirley's a good-looking lady.
She's like a couple of fish.
Nothing
Don't
wrong
you
with that.
dare.
She's like a couple of
Don't.
No, she's a badass cook, though. She is. She made Thanksgiving. That was good.
Yeah, she'll fuck it up.
That's
Thanks, Mom.
Jeffrey. It's in support of his mother. She'll fuck it up.
Oh, yeah. In like a good way.
I
So,
know. I'm just giving you our
Has anybody since the last podcast researched at all net neutrality?
Oh no, I learned
Zero.
everything I need to know about
Yeah,
net neutrality
zero.
last
well,
time.
you know, I was
Remember
thinking,
the guy looks shady. We
Yep,
don't trust
don't
him.
like him.
So
you guys remember that?
yeah, if they hired like a pretty
Wouldn't be proof.
person, then it would it would not pass. Whichever one it was supposed to be.
So that was Jeff saying butts and boots. But no, just so you guys know,
You were wrong, and you're apologizing.
the FCC chairman is the one who has said that they're going to be done with net neutrality. So
What about the vote?
it's over
So the vote's over.
on the 14th. It'll
Wow.
be no more. And
Today.
Wait, so we get paid though because
Well, they
we're
already
entertainment
have
on the
the-
internet. So like technically,
Yeah.
they're going to do the work for us.
no,
and start
see,
billing
so
people.
all right,
Yeah, when do we start
Because
getting paid?
I want my. I
wanna
got
know
student
we get
loans.
paid, too.
That's not
What kind of
necessarily
information
the
and
case.
my terrible cruise ship analogy. Here's a better one. I got.
Oh,
a good
God,
one
that
for
wasn't
you. This
really
this
bad
will
analogy,
this will
yeah.
make everyone understand it. Okay.
$10 for the slide.
Okay.
$10 for
What
the,
is the first
Pina
part of
colada.
it? Like, is it net neutrality? Is this? Is that what you're going to say?
Yes. This.
Okay.
Okay. Net neutrality is basically the government coming in and they wanted to treat the internet like a what do you call that?
Cruise ship.
No. What do you call it? Water, electric. What is that?
Utility.
Damn.
Utility. There you go.
Utility.
Boom. They wanted to treat it like a utility. So they wanted to say,
regulate the hell out of it.
well, they wanted to say this is the standard speed, and you can't charge Netflix because you can't charge Netflix more than you would charge, say,
Yeah.
if we wanted to make a website.
Right.
Problem that the ISPs were upset about was that Netflix uses 35% of all the bandwidth. Okay. And they want to charge, ISPs want to charge businesses or websites that use that much a little more than, like, say, if we had a website.
And so this bill...
Yes. It was. I don't even know if you would call it a bill, but here's the great analogy that I wanted to say. Okay, people, when you want to ship something or mail something, you have options. You use the post office, FedEx, UPS, or some others, right? Say you wanted to get that package that you wanted to send your grandma tomorrow at 10 a.m. Well, you have the option to then pay FedEx next day air. Or you could just use the post office. Net neutrality wants to make the internet like the post office, and you can't pay for next day air. It would just be a baseline. This is the speed everybody has to be at, no more, no less, and it's neutral.
But, so not net neutrality could maybe be the post office. Maybe the opposite, where you can pay more. Or it could not, because they have free reign to do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, but why wouldn't
it? Doesn't necessarily.
They would do that.
Yeah, why wouldn't they offer to get more money?
Oh, no, they're going to offer more money.
No, they're going to bill you to go on MySpace and look at your
It wouldn't be you, though.
There's other buzzwords. What do they call Facebooking? It's just Facebook.
Yeah, just Facebook. But you wouldn't pay for it. The reason why they want to scare
you pay this. No,
it wouldn't be you though. It would be.
Maybe.
It would be... No, it's not maybe. This is it. ISPs would charge Netflix more, and they're saying that Netflix in turn might up their monthly charge.
I thought ISPs could, if they decided to, they could charge you for packages. They could charge you a social media package. That basically,
no, that's
the last couple of years has been brainstorming, man, if we could have this again, how could we make more money? Because we've lost on cable because no one gives a shit.
No, that's not it. The thing is that there's a bandwidth, right? And they're saying bandwidth is a finite resource.
But that's not the only part of this, though, right? That's not the only.
Well,
no,
the only thing that is the only. That is the issue.
No, but they have free right to charge varying prices.
They're trying.
I agree with anyone that thinks you're wrong.
They get to tell you how to do the shit. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If
they want you to cook with ketchup, you got to cook with ketchup.
The decision. It's not up for debate. They've already passed that they have the ability to do that.
Yeah, I know, but the chairman of the FCC has just said on the 14th, net neutrality is they're going to give it back to the ISPs. Now, there's your perfect example of how the government can be had. Okay, because why would the chairman of the FCC relinquish power? Because he's probably got paid by somebody.
Right.
Okay.
That'll come up in the news in the next couple.
It's like water. Water doesn't move a limb unless there's force behind it, right? Well, what's force in politics?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm happy that there's no net neutrality. I don't want
political movement. What's the real force in a political movement?
Well, I think was it Murdoch? Is that the guy you sacrifice lower employees for like to gain more money?
Rupert?
It's the big bull they've got in Wall Street. There's something
Rupert
like
it's
there's a cult.
I think the answer he was looking for was money.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
No, I was going to let him go because he was pretty good with the damn. What else happened after
it's
that?
It's Mammon or Maimon. Yeah, no, that's the guy. Yeah, all the rich, the Hillary Clintons and the other rich people. They sacrifice like lowest level like busboys to Maimon so that you can get. And that's why you steal pensions and then you just give the money to the. Yeah, it's a. Well, then the fake moon landing and the fact that the moon isn't real to begin with. And, yeah.
What? No. I heard
which one of those
that's
you want
not
to run
true.
with? Yeah,
maybe
it's just So your analogy that you use though.
What do you think, Jeff?
So now net neutrality is not going to happen.
Yes.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
Okay,
but on the 14th, it already
analogy,
exists.
So that means it's not going to happen. So we don't have to worry about bandwidth being charged.
So what are they going to rename it if it's not neutral?
Well, we'll find out.
What's it going to be called?
SOPA shit. Do you guys remember that SOPA whatever?
Yeah, HIPAA.
It was SOPA. It was you remember that when then like that for that one day Wikipedia was like blacked out and all those websites were like blacked out because they were trying to it was like Stop Online Piracy Act or some shit like that. And all those people protested it and they were going to pass it where they were like allowing people so like at any point in time someone could just pull your website if it was like offensive or whatever. It was a free speech.
Yeah, they've
issue.
been trying to
But
do
you
that
remember
for a
that,
while.
right? It was
yeah,
like 5 or 6 years ago.
but it didn't.
No, they
go
killed
anywhere.
it.
Yeah.
But it was when it first started out. They thought for sure it was going to go through because the money.
That's what I'm fucking hearing.
the drone.
So with the net neutrality stuff, like I don't know how big of an effect it has, and I'm not 100%. Like I'm not really tech savvy on that stuff, but I do know. I remember that, and that was a really big deal that they shut that shit down.
Yeah, all I wanted.
They were going to pass that.
Are you
law.
sure that was that, or was it just people like making
You just
fake
want-
shit up on
No,
Wikipedia?
You just wanted to have a better analogy
because
than the damn fucking cruise ship.
All
That's
I-
all. That's
yeah.
all it was.
All I wanted to
That was
do
such
was-
a bad
By the way,
analogy.
Pete, good job. That was a great job on that. I like
Good
that
analogy.
analogy way better.
Boom.
I still disagree with whatever you're saying, but I that was way
Fantastic.
way
I'll
better.
stand by
Do
your-
you disagree though that what he's saying
ability to
is
say
right, or you're disagreeing that we do need net neutrality?
No. I'm disagreeing with him as like a person. like I don't care. They
You
just say-
showed me the dick video, and now I hate you.
Marduk is. What did they
They
sacrifice?
just said
I
that
saw
it's
the
already been
dicks.
decided. Like, there's no issue because we don't have a vote here. I didn't
Wait,
get
this
to
will
vote.
probably clear it
So,
up real quick.
Maybe it's just you're supposed to eat their ass.
Foul trash.
Oh, wow, that was good.
Wait, play that one back.
Lesbians.
Thanks,
They're like,
Obama.
they're like strawberries.
Yeah, this is Casey talking about net neutrality.
Oh, just wait. I'm gonna make my own last track.
It's thoughts on
Maybe
net
it's just you're supposed to eat their ass. So, Pete, what happens when you
All right,
Google
Casey,
your
we've
name?
heard your point,
what comes
so-
up? Is there
You
a-
can Google it.
soundbite now.
We'll go through that.
Yeah, okay.
I'll actually have Rick read it if he wants to. But this was Eric's. I love Eric's little soundbite here.
A lot of thought going in your head.
Oh, that was you gotta be
Spent some
be
time
more specific.
formulating that
I
statement.
didn't even hear that one before. That's good.
Gays are gross, and I'm right.
F. That's not right. Come on,
He's right.
dude.
I
He's
said I
right.
was right, though.
Wait, no,
Doing
put
through
on
a hole in the sheet.
put on number 24 there.
Number 24.
Number 24.
I don't
Damn,
see
I gotta stop.
24.
The hot foot.
Hey, big boy, you want a hot foot?
Eat it up.
It's bad when I think it is.
Good one, dude.
Can you play that again?
Judge all of you right now. So greasy.
Can you play the hot foot one more time?
Yeah. Hey, big boy, you want a hot foot?
Eat it up.
Pick up the phone. So they don't run
rubber
those ads
dick.
anymore, right? Because everyone's got the
I know
internet.
that's Jeff, but is that Jeff?
It's a rubber
It
dick.
is, Jeff.
Do it through a hole in the sheet. Do it through a hole in the sheet. Do it through a hole in the sheet.
Remix.
All right. So, yeah, anyway, that's the deal with net neutrality now, even though I totally botched it up on the last episode that was titled, What's Up with Net Neutrality, Dude? And, yeah.
Well, you
I
kinda
feel like everything you said, the opposite could be true.
I also feel like you did
Well,
not
you know-
explain it that way at all.
I
last
You
was
guys
so
know about the
baked.
guy who
I cannot
made the-
smoke weed.
and
dude.
that's why we kept on
You guys
arguing
know
with
the
you
story
because
about
what
the
you're
guy-
saying doesn't make any sense.
Yes, I listened to it over and over, and I'm like, where I fucked up, one was smoking weed, two was assuming.
Don't blame the marijuana, okay?
Don't
Never
blame the wang.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's just my brain on marijuana. That's
Okay.
what I'll blame it. But and two would be that I thought you guys kind of knew what net neutrality was.
No, I'm
No, don't
blissfully
ever assume
ignorant.
that.
on
I
politics.
assumed that,
Yeah,
and so I was like talking about it, and then there was confusion on like what it was, and then I had to go back and then botched it all up completely.
I mean, I got string theory. I get that, but no, not politics.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
So what do you think about drones?
There was somebody told me. Oh, Doreen told me that there's a new law that passed that says you can't fly drones anywhere near a prison.
Yeah, but so I was about to. That's so weird. You brought that up. I was about to bring that up right now. Was that literally?
Can you kill that dog real quick?
There was. I saw this thing where it was prisons getting drones where they're dropping off
Drugs and shit.
and cigarettes and alcohol.
Yeah.
And they kept on busting through and getting broken or something. Like they'd hit a wall and it'd fall, and then the guards would see it. They'd be like, oh, you don't even get that shit. But there was one case where it fell in the middle of the yard and it caused a riot
Oh, I bet
because
dude.
there was all this like paraphernalia and all this,
Yeah, there's just
merch.
like drop a bag of cocaine in the
free
middle.
merch.
Well, no, in Japan they had it was like the drones. So the cops got drones because the drug dealer, the triad or whatever it is, had drones, and then they got drones to take out the cops' drones. And they had like an escalating arms race of like drones with guns on them to shoot down police drones.
It was like a drone on drone.
Because you can't arrest a drone.
war.
As long as
Drone on drone violence.
The whole transport aspect of it, like technically you can't bust anybody because they don't have any drugs in their hands. And so they just go back and forth. Like if your drone, if you can shoot down what's following your drone, you can, it's a lot easier than driving somewhere.
You're absolutely right. And then we're just talking about like imagine like opening your door and there's a drone there and just blows up, like just blows up on you because you want to kill somebody,
Or like a drone with a gun attached to it.
Or well, that may be a little bit harder to like
to the Middle
do
East.
that
Yeah, true.
from far away. But you
I
might
mean,
be
like
like
that's
a,
what they
a
deal with.
timer on that drone and.
Pack it with like
I've heard of
explosives.
what they do with these drones
Or just
out there,
fly
right?
it over the Mexican
What?
border.
What the special forces can do with them?
Oh yeah,
It's incredible, man.
dude. The fact that by the way, this podcast is brought to you by DJI, and DJI, they're a great
raw
company.
rolling papers.
DJI is a great company, and anytime you guys want to send me anything to test out your products, you just let me know.
Fantastic camera. That is a fantastic
But
camera.
this thing has sensors here. It has in the front. It has sensors on the bottom. It has facial recognition software, so you can link it to your face and then hit follow, and it'll follow you till it could be 100 feet in the air and follow you at 60 miles an hour.
So it's going to record you like live.
Well, no, and
walking
that's the
talking?
shitty
Yes.
civilian version.
And this is something I bought. That's where I was going. This is something I bought in Best Buy.
Oh, I thought you won it at Dave and Buster's.
No.
And it's tiny. And it's tiny. And it's
No.
tiny.
It's-
So
it's small.
if we can buy this shit, God only knows what the hell the fucking military has.
Oh, we can shoot the what is the A2000
Or
shot
the drug dealers.
grenade rounds.
Or whatever.
Is that
Yeah.
That sounds like something from the Beverly Hills Cop. Remember that? What was it? The third one where they had the guy.
So you think they should outlaw drones for that
down
reason,
TV
though?
on
Do you
it.
think that should be a law?
No,
Like,
absolutely
more
not.
drones
Fuck that.
for the public?
I think the more and more shit that everybody can have.
like anonymous killing drones. Like no way to trace them. It levels the playing field.
You just have to damn.
Well, that's what's gonna happen.
No.
No, that's what naturally happens when so. That
I'm
was the
sure
whole
it will
argument
happen.
against the drone. In the warfare was because eventually the enemy is going to gain that,
Yeah, that technology.
and if you're not using it ethically, why would they?
See, that's the fucked up thing. Speaking of drones, is the shit that's going on in like Yemen and Syria.
We don't know
and-
half the shit that's going on.
Well, what we do know is staggering is fucked up. Like it's like thousands of people are getting killed over metadata. Like they
There's
basically.
there's
It's also like
real-
people that aren't even...
There's not.
Like, they're
real
like kids getting
interaction.
killed.
Yeah.
There's an
They're not
actual
even- they're not
video
even-
that there's a
There's a whole
helicopter
documentary
in the
called
sky.
Dirty
Yeah,
War.
that
You
WikiLeaks
can-
shit.
You can look up that video. This guy's in a helicopter and he's looking down through a screen, and these guys are just on the side of the road. And one guy's holding a camera, and they're like, "Oh, that
Yeah,
guy's
that's
got a
that
gun!"
WikiLeaks shit.
And they just start unloading this 50 cal from a helicopter.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, look at these poor bastards!" And these guys are just getting splattered on the pavement.
Yeah, and then the
None of
van
them had
goes
even- none
to
of them
pick them up
were-
on the side. Like the van pulls over, and they ask permission to shoot the van, and you could see children in the van.
Yeah, it's all. It's,
But that's
And
the
they
drone.
blast
That's the
the van.
drone doing it. That's a
Oh,
drone.
yeah,
No, that was a.
That was actual.
I'm talking about a
But that was
drone
from the
though. It was a
WikiLeaks.
drone doing this though.
Yeah,
the
those,
drone's coming out
those
with a
guys
50
were
caliber.
jaywalking, and those
I don't think
kids
they
were
have
assholes.
like released any of the video from the.
I just
drone
know they're the
stuff.
missile drones. I know they're the
What the
missile
hell
drones.
was
there are
what the
videos
hell's
for
the
the
name of
bomb
that
drones.
airplane?
the AC-130.
AC-130. God damn it,
Yeah, that's
Jeff!
right.
I'm
That's
supposed to know
What
that
kind of a
stuff.
gun nerd are you?
I thought that video was from.
I play
a
video
helicopter.
games.
All right, guys. I think this is it.
Hey,
And
I think this was a good one.
that's what we say that every time.
Oh,
And it's always a good one, man. This is the best part
either
of my
that
week.
is the
Well, hey, I
worst
just
one.
want to say as a close that I really did enjoy.
Hey, thanks for Rick for coming in as a special guest. It's,
man,
I
y'all
appreciate
are
that,
great.
Let's
man.
give it up for Rick.
Yeah,
Y'all are
definitely.
awesome, man. Y'all got a cool thing going on here, man. I really
Jeff, come
enjoyed it.
over here, man. Every fucking end of the
Every
podcast, you're
fucking
meandering
time
around.
I'm in the kitchen.
ADD is
Can't
real.
sit still.
What can you say?
All right, I'm back.
All right.
Man on a
Hey,
mission.
So, just to let everybody know, and especially our one fan in France,
bonjour.
If you want to check out our podcast, you can go on iTunes and look up Turnbridge Files Podcast and download it there, or you can go to YouTube, which is Turnbridge Files Podcast on YouTube. It's pretty fucking self-explanatory.
Gracias, Pedro.
And hit subscribe, because Pete's going to take it personal.
Yes.
He's going to come in here saying, I don't think we're good and we're funny, and I know I'm funny.
The more you like the podcast, even if you don't like the podcast, even if you think we're fucking idiots, do me a favor and just hit the subscribe button.
Give us that free internet money.
Give us a rating on iTunes.
That money.
Hey, there's no such thing as free internet money.
Give us that free internet.
Take it from an accountant.
Give us
Take it from an accountant. There's no
Ask
such
our
thing.
friend in France.
Give us a rating on iTunes.
Julian
And
Assange.
also, this podcast is brought to you by Milspec Productions. You assholes that are listening to this, you might possibly get married. And if you're going to get married, you might need a wedding video. So check out milspecfilms.com. And actually, it's
That's a good one. Milspec?
Yeah, something like that. Milspec Films.
Brought to you by Milspec Productions.
Also, this is brought to you by
Biggie Smalls.
DJI drones, because they're fucking awesome. And yeah.
Raw rolling papers.
And
I love to watch
Twisted
Pete work, though.
Veins,
He's like, I'm wondering where he's
HDMI
coming up
cables.
with this shit.
I like
you're so
IPA by Star Hill Brewery.
good. No,
This
Northern Lights.
podcast is also brought to you
Charmin.
by Eric popping the shit out of the motherfucking microphone all night.
That
Rick,
was not just me popping.
Oh, let's eat some tacos.
Casey, Jeff Hand,
Hey, muchas
Eric.
gracias, amigo.
Pete Rock.
Ricky
Peace out.
Boyd.
You're welcome.